True crime on A&E with groundbreaking original shows like The First 48, Cold Case Files, Accused, Guilty or Innocent, and American Justice. No one brings you closer. Groundbreaking true crime every Thursday and Friday on A&E.
Veterans, you may have earned a variety of VA benefits. Did you know VA can help you further your education and pursue professional training? The Home Loan Guarantee Program can help you buy, repair, or adapt a home. VA provides housing support if you find yourself homeless or at risk of homelessness. And don't forget world-class healthcare. Learn more about these and other VA benefits. Visit choose.va.gov.
Hello, we are the Salon Sleuths. My name is Melissa.
And my name is Leslie.
And we are two women from the Pacific Northwest. We are both curious about paranormals, spirit guides, ghosts, past lives.
We are suspicious about true crime, disappearances, and strange phenomenons. We are open to learning about the supernatural and all things we don't understand.
Together, we're opinionated with a splash of smartass. Join us to learn. And stay curious, stay suspicious, and stay open.
Follow Salon Sleuths on all major podcast platforms.
Welcome to Freaky Friday. Today we have Magenta on our show. She is from the UK. She is a psychic medium. She reached out through our YouTube page and would like to be on our show. So here we have her. She is going to tell us. I did ask her about a couple of cases, and you may recognize them. It is one that we actually just recently posted, and I'm not going to tell you which one it is. I want you to come up with the answer on your own, and when you do, please leave a comment and let us know which case it is. Also, she will be telling a few of her ghost stories. As you know, we have talked about going into lots of ghost stories as we get into October, and I'm going to be focusing on those through the whole month of October. So stay tuned and listen for those. Anyway, here is Meg. She does mention a few times during our interview that she's unable to say where she works. Since then, I've been in contact with her, and she does work for a company called Psychic Sofa. You can find her on Facebook. Her name is Magenta, and she goes by Mag Taylor. And you will know that it's her because her picture for her Facebook is magenta. It actually says magenta, and it's a color purple. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the show.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. We found you.
Finally. Sorry about that. A few hiccups.
Oh, I love your accent.
Me too.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind. I like your accent as well.
Our lack of accents, I think. I have my friend Karen is on with us. She does a lot of she has a lot of experience with psychics and mediums, and so I thought of all my friends, I needed to invite her to come on with us today.
Oh, hi Karen.
Hi.
It's lovely to talk to you.
Yeah, me too.
Magenta, before we get started, tell me who you are and if you have a website, or if anybody hears us today and wants to get in touch with you, how they go ahead and do that. And I don't know if you heard this already, but I just wanted to let you know that I am recording this, and then it will be on our podcast. So if you would like to give a little introduction of who you are and how people can get a hold of you.
Okay. Well, first of all, I've got to be honest with you. I've not really got my own YouTube channel or anything like that.
Okay.
I work, and I can't say the name of the company at the moment because I haven't asked them if it's okay. But I work for a brilliant, amazing UK psychic company. I've worked there for a year. I live in the UK, hence my accent. I probably sound like a pirate. I apologise about that. I shall try to make my voice clear because, you know, sometimes we've got a bit of a slang in the United Kingdom. We all have different accents. But anyway, I've always had psychic experiences. It started when I was young, and especially in my last house. What I do when I do my readings, people will ring up the company and they pick a reader, and then they get through to myself, and then I will give them a reading. My reading can be all different things. You know, it might be, will he come back to me? When am I going to meet somebody new? About properties, about holidays, jobs. Also, I can, you know, tune into people that have passed as well. The only thing the company we're not allowed to talk about is obviously legal things, illnesses and health, and you know, young children and things like that. So yeah, I've got a lot of clients that come to me, lots of regulars and new clients, and I enjoy my job immensely. And every reading, I'm very honest. If I'm not quite sure, because perhaps it isn't mapped out yet, or things can change, people can change, circumstances can change, then I will be honest and open if I'm not 100% sure. But also, I don't tell clients what they want to hear. I do readings with integrity and honesty, and I tell them what I'm picking up at this moment in time, because sometimes you hear about, especially from my clients, they will go to other companies and it's almost like the readers tell them what they want to hear. And a year down the line, it's not happened. So I don't try and lead people down, you know, the garden path or tell them what they want to hear. And occasionally I get a few screaming people because they want me to tell them something that they want to hear. And I say, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that, for example, Bob is going to come back after 2 years, when I feel that he's not. But also I try and guide them to meet somebody else if that's their question, or how they can meet somebody else. And yeah, just try and be uplifting and upbeat in everything I do. And my readings I do with a pure heart, and I'm very honest and genuine and straight to the point, I'll be honest. And that's what a lot of them like. Yeah, and so I just have integrity, and I read for people how I'd like to be read for myself.
And Magenta, if somebody, is Magenta your real name? Is that what you go
No.
by? Okay.
Yeah.
If somebody does hear this and they do want to contact you and you're not able to give your company name, do you want to have them go through the email?
I've got Facebook.
Okay.
And it's Madge, MAG, and then a gap, and then Taylor. The profile picture is the name Magenta. The background picture is a beach, and it does state on there that I work as a psychic, but not the company that I work in for.
Okay.
But if we talk again and I've spoken to my company and they say, yeah, that's fine, you know, you can say who you work for, then absolutely I'll do that.
Okay.
I did try and contact them, but unfortunately the management I couldn't get in contact with, you know, within the time frame. But they're definitely, you know, I've left an email, so I'm sure they'll get back to me. Yeah, so
great.
Here I am.
All right. So you contacted me on our YouTube channel. Was there a specific episode that I can't remember which one you commented on. Do you remember?
I can't remember. I think I was just browsing through and just looking at it random, podcasts, and I thought yours looked interesting. And
well,
I'm
of course, we love this kind of stuff, so you fit right in with us, like absolutely.
So,
and I think it's really cool that you're not even from here. I think it's really fun to have somebody for really far away. I do want to ask you. You mentioned that you don't read for young kids, or you don't read about for young kids.
Kind of both. My company, you have to be 18 years old to have a reading legally. And also, I don't really talk about, so if someone says, you know, my daughter's 4 years old and she's really ill and what she, you know, I can't diagnose things. I always say you need to go to a medical, you know, doctor to have tests. I'm not going to diagnose ailments and things like that to such a degree. But also, if I feel that someone's coming through, I can obviously say that they passed of this or that. That's fine, but I can't talk about the living, you know, because they have to seek medical advice. It's just terms and conditions with a lot of the UK, you know, confidentiality and things like that. And you know, I would want them to be diagnosed by a doctor first. You know, psychological things I can go down that road, that's fine, and get to the root causes of why psychically. But I just wouldn't say, well, actually, you know, you've got a heart condition and you're going to pass in the next 8 months. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think I
Terrible.
get a reading back. So I don't kind of dive into that sort of thing. I just go straight. And your psychic here would probably agree with me. Whenever I do a reading, sometimes I can do a reading and then the phone goes down, and then 2 minutes later the phone rings again. So what I tell my clients, because sometimes they'll ring me back and say, oh, I spoke to you last week and you said this and that happened, and I didn't believe you at the time, but you were right. And I say, look, I can't remember our conversation, because every time I do a reading I have to zone out. So when the next client rings me, because it could be a minute later, then I don't want my energies to be with the previous client, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So every time anyone rings me, and I'm not going to lie, I do have a couple of clients that I know by name because they ring me so often, like every week. So obviously I would know them. But others are like, oh, I rang you about a month ago. Can you remember? And I'm like, no, I've not got dementia, but I can't remember. I speak to so many people. But I do have quite a few American clients and Canadian clients, which is great. Because I hear that you've got, is it Californian psychics as your main psychics?
Actually, I don't know. We don't go through companies. We have a local lady that both Karen and I know, and then actually we know a few here in town, but I don't know what the big companies are here. Do you know, Karen?
I don't. It's not really the way we operate here. They're usually, psychics and mediums are independent here.
Yeah, I agree,
Yeah.
because I've done quite a few readings for psychics that say that they work for different companies, and I'm like, you're not psychic. I don't know how you got through the net because my company, you have to be vetted. You have to do several readings to make sure that you've got a gift. You know, they won't just let
and I think the
anybody
ones
in.
here, I think a lot of people don't even trust them. Probably with exactly what you're saying is they're probably just anybody could be just saying anything or reading off of like their computer or things to say. But so I think the ones that are probably like advertised that way are not trustworthy. And so I think the push is for independent people that people really rely on here in the US.
Yeah. I mean, with my company, which you obviously know the name, but we'll keep that quiet at the moment. People do write testimonies, you know, so if you go onto my picture on there and scroll to testimonies, it will give you, you know, what people have said about me and the readings. So that's good. I don't do it for the money. I do it for because I've got a gift, because I retired early, very young. And I surf. My husband's got a good job. We don't need the money. Mortgage is paid. I do it because I help people, because I used to be in the health and social sector, helping people that way. And I just, after quite a few years, I wanted to come out of that and help people in another way. And what I like about my company is I can log on and off when I want. So if I don't want to work for a week, I don't have to. If I want to log on for an hour, fine. If I log on, off, on again, I can do whatever I want. Yeah.
Very cool. I like that. So Karen, you probably know who I want to ask about. Who do I always ask about? So Magenta, there is a boy that went missing a few years ago here in Portland. Are you able to pick up on anything if I were to give you his name, or is this something that you don't want to touch?
Maybe another time, because it's a young child.
Well, he would be, if he's still alive, he would be around 18 or 19 now.
Okay, but I will ring you back with that one if you want, and we can do a missing persons one, and I'll look into that a bit more.
Okay.
Because I need to meditate on that for a little bit. But, yeah, it's I think people,
it's a big mystery here in the town that we're from, and I always ask this question to any psychic or medium that I know, and they all give me the same response. So I'm not surprised.
I will look into that, but I think I think family or friends know more than what they think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
That's the first thing I'm getting. I think it was pretty much, as we would call it, an inside job.
Yeah. Okay.
If I'm totally honest, things don't add up, and I feel that people's, the statements that they've given to the police don't add up.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
That we could say is true.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm picking up just off the
Okay.
bat without meditating about that.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Just one last thing about that. Do you get the feeling that he's alive or not alive?
I feel that he's passed.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I believe, and some people don't, but okay. So Karen, since we have you on, do you have something you'd like to ask Magenta or talk to her about?
Is it better to start with a question for you, or do you want to just check in with guides and see what the messages are?
Yeah, I didn't know whether you wanted me to talk about my ghost experience of the house,
Oh,
or do you want to?
How about, can we do a little bit of both?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
No problem at all. I feel that there's been another murder case that one of you was probably interested in. I'm not familiar, as you can appreciate. I'm from the United Kingdom, so I don't know about all the murders in your country, and it's not something that I sort of delve into. But I'm getting a bridge, and I'm getting water, and I'm getting a heart. So I don't know whether that means Valentine's. It's not recent, but it's 2000 and something. I feel that, why am I getting trains? So I don't know whether it's by a train track or something. A train, but to me, it doesn't seem used. To me, it seems higher up, like here in the UK, a lot of our trains are lower, on the ground, on the subways, sort of underground. To me, and it's old because there's splinters of wood, and there's lots of greenery around it. And I feel that, why would people go there? People would go there mainly, and it's not something that I'm into. Again, it's a cultural thing. But they would shoot. They would shoot like deer, or I don't know if you have sort of wild pigs. I think hogs or something like that you would call them. But mainly deer. I'm getting deer, and it's an animal deer. And that's what I'm getting. I feel it's sort of out of the way of the beaten track. And it's a bit like the United Kingdom. We get areas, and it's only the locals that know. So, for example, where I live, if it's touristy in the summer, there's lots of beaches, but us locals would know the beaches that aren't sort of touristy, off the beaten track a little bit. And I feel that this place is like that. I sense that there's more than one person. I think they're young. And again, because I'm getting like the young warning signs again in my head. There's more than one. There's two. Because to me, I'm getting like female. Three women, and then one left. And then there was two. One left and there was two. I don't know why they left, whether they had a call or they drove them there, or I'm not quite sure, but I think it was only two that passed. Two. I don't know whether that rings any bells to anything.
It does.
Okay. Do you want me to keep going?
Yeah, if you can.
Tune in a little bit. I feel that.
Anybody else around?
Yes, there was. And it was the person that killed them. Ooh, this is a bit dark and heavy. I usually do when he come back to me readings. But yeah, I would say, looking at him, he seems a bit covered up. And I don't know why, but then that could be the fact that in the United Kingdom, what you would call cold, we would call warm. He had something over like the face, but the lower half. And to me, we would call them like rugby players, but thinner in the arms. It's sort of hands in the pockets, sort of pigeon walking, quite not too tall, between 5'6", 5'8", 5'6", 5'7", 5'8", under 6 foot and over, and between 5'6" and 6 foot. I feel that this person, there's a lot going on in this area. People seem to do drugs there sometimes. It's like the like it's odd because I feel that people would say what a beautiful area it is, and it is beautiful, but it's almost like two sides of the coin. And what I mean by that, it's dark and light. So it looks beautiful. I hear running water as well. So perhaps it's near a stream or a river. We would call it a stream. But slightly wider than a stream. So quite a big, yeah, probably I'd go with a river, small river. But the dark and light it looks beautiful if you wanted to take pictures and be out with nature. And the air is quite clear. But the dark side it's like a hangout for the oddballs. I don't, the drugs, the smoking stuff, and also the element of I know that in America, a lot of people shoot animals to eat them, and that's fine if you're going to eat them, but not to shoot them for the fun of it. And it's got that element, so it's got dark and light.
Can you tell me any more about the murderer?
I feel that their eyes are blue. To me.
How about the age?
I would say between when he was murdering, I would say older.
You think he's murdered more than this one time?
I think that this was a freak. I think, to me, I feel that he's got something on his back. So I don't know whether it's like, I don't think it would be a fishing rod. So to me, perhaps it's a gun, like to shoot deer or something. To me, the backpack looks like there's something poking out behind the head. So that's why I think it's something that's whether that could be a tent, I guess. But to me, it's something that's on the inside. He's got it sort of round, and then he's got a jacket on. And I feel that this is the murderer. But there's a lot of different things going on there, because I feel that, again, I have to go careful. I don't want to get into it. I feel that these two girls were under 15, but I feel that they were over 12, but under 15. So that range, of 13 or 14, something like that. I feel that one of them has had quite, I feel, to me, I don't know whether this person one of them was adopted or went to live with an auntie or something like that, because the mother, I feel, has got children, but this girl didn't live with the mother. Yeah, and I don't think it was a holiday. And I'd be interested to delve into that a bit. Why? Yeah, a lot going on there.
Was
Because
this
now
man by himself?
yeah, I feel he was. I
Okay.
feel he was. I feel that this person lives. Is it okay to talk about this? Because I don't want to get
Yeah.
copyrighted or anything like that.
No.
I feel that this person, I'm getting something to do with either like he goes to church or something to do with a church. Because I see a red brick church now here in the UK, as you would probably know, our churches, how I would define our churches, are like very old and stone, as you probably know what our churches look like. But I was getting church in my mind's eye, but to me, it's like a red brick church. So I don't know if you have those there, but that's what I was getting. I feel that they live close, yeah, in the area. Yeah, in the area.
Does this man have a family?
What I'm picking up is I think his mother wasn't good to him. I think there was some abuse there with the mother. I don't know whether he was like a young pastor or, as I said, lives near the church or goes to the church. I'm not trying to implement anyone. It's only what I'm getting. And as your psychic can appreciate, I haven't sort of tuned in. I've just gone straight onto a Zoom without tuning in. But I feel, yeah, I feel that. But to me, I feel he was there. To me, I don't understand why this hasn't been solved, but also I think there's lots of things, and it's not a disrespect to the police. I think they were led up different, you go down a hole and there's lots of rabbit warrens, because I see a female that was murdered, and another guy, and the female's in prison, and I'm not saying it's related, but I'm just getting this, so perhaps they live around there. And this female, I don't like her. Her initial begins with A. She's got blonde hair. She looks like stocky. I think she's high on drugs. I think there's a few of them that are high on drugs. I feel her and her partner killed this woman. I feel that the female in prison is a psychopath, terrible jealousy, and killed someone's girlfriend. But also, I think this person that died, it's almost, there was three of them, and it's like that she knew something. The girl with the dark hair knew something, and it's like, right, let's come to a decision. Right, let's kill her. And the blonde-haired woman wanted this because she had jealousy issues. So I think it was her that kind of, let's kill her, let's silence her. There's a lot of messed up people around there. There's a lot of nice people, but there's a lot of messed up people around there. There's somebody that lives close to the area. And you got dolls. Why am I getting dollies? Like plastic dolls, and like cuts them and blows them up. And I don't know what the hell that's about. Maybe he goes there, but that's definitely a bit odd. I think that with this case, a bit like the one about the boy, because I'm getting there, they're similar in the fact that people are lying or giving false testimonies. Yeah. That's what I think. Because like one person,
do you get any initials with the killer, the man?
The main one that I'm getting with the female that was murdered, I think it was 3 people, and I'm getting A for apple. So I feel that the female's A, like
Now, is
Anne or
the one that you're talking about right now, that just had with the 3 people that happened in the same town, but not
right.
related to the man
No,
that killed the 2 girls? Okay.
I think, yeah, I don't feel that 100%. I'm not going to say 1,000,000% no, because I think they used to hang out around there. But to me, I'm getting lots of confusion because there's lots of Warren rabbits. I think, to me, I feel that there was some DNA. I don't think it was a lot. And I think some of that's due to, because I'm getting water. So I don't know whether they were killed in the water or by the water, but that didn't help with the DNA. But I think if this person had murdered, I think there would probably be enough evidence to, know who it is. So they either were very good, or there wasn't enough evidence, or I'm not quite sure about that.
Can you tell how the girls were murdered?
Are we allowed to say? I mean, I'd want to go careful. I don't want to get in any trouble here with the UK laws are different, maybe. I think it was sort of, it's almost like I think that they were told to go somewhere, and it was almost like, like if you're in a corner and you're trapped in a corner.
Yeah.
It was almost like there was nowhere to run, which is a bit odd because it's near grass and things, but it was like, in hindsight, they wished that they just ran. I think they froze, and I feel that this person said, I've got a gun, do as I say and you'll be fine, or impersonated something like, I own this place, but I don't think that the owner has anything to do with it at all. But I think he either pretended he was someone, like, oh, I'm the ranger, or I'm a policeman off duty, or the something's collapsed, you can't go that way, you need to go this way. So they kind of were ambushed to go a certain way. Yeah.
You don't follow any of the cases in the US, because this one is like dead on with one that
one I have done years ago was Edgar Casey.
Okay.
But I'm not really into murder mysteries, if I'm honest with you. But obviously here in the UK, we had like Peter Sutcliffe, strangled. It was on the news. Not that I watch news much because I think it's a lot fake, but you can't help but sort of hear about it on the news.
Yeah.
So I'm not really prevalent to American murders and things like that, apart from like huge ones, like Edgar Casey, big ones.
Okay.
But
the one you're talking about right now, I know exactly which one you're talking about, and it's it's not.
Don't say because otherwise you might think, oh, perhaps it's going to look it up or something, and then it would not validate what I've said. So.
Okay.
I think it's best that we sort of don't say that, because just so I want to prove to you that I'm quite authentic, But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on there, a lot of drugs and stuff. People are high as kites on things. As I said, dark and light.
Well, that was good. Good
but
job.
I do think that females have lied, and I'm getting 2:15 and 2:45, so I don't know whether it was put out at a different time. But I'm getting around 2:15 to 2:45, something happened. And What's am I getting? That again, I don't want to get anyone in trouble because people, but I feel that the testimonies weren't correct. I think one guy said that there was something to do with talking or something. I don't trust that. I don't trust that. I don't trust that. I don't think they got the right times. The people that are saying, I think they're wrong. Because to me, it's like, oh, she's saying this time and now she's saying that time and now she don't want to talk about it. Well, what time then? Because 1 minute you're saying this and then you're changing your subject and changing, what you're saying. And that's what I mean about, a rabbit hole. There's lots of things that just aren't adding up. But I think a lot of people go into great detail about who it could be, and I appreciate that, but I think it's more simpler than people say, there's a lot of people put their 2 pence in, and that's great that they're doing it. They're trying to help. But I think perhaps, the police should just go on their hunches and things like that a little bit more, I think.
Do you know if the police have already questioned the guy?
I think they've got their eye on this person. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because, how about this? Can you give me any, with my friend Karen in mind, can you read anything about her, for her? What does anything come up psychically for her?
Yeah. So Karen, the first thing I'm picking up is I've got a lady in spirit. She's slightly plump, when she passed. I do feel that there's arthritis, especially in the right knee. It's almost like you would know who she is, because when you went to her house, there would be a distinct smell. Like, I don't mean a bad smell. To me, it's like a familiar smell.
Yes.
She's saying that she had cold fingertips and that was good for the pastry. So I don't know whether that's a metaphor that she was a good cook. Probably so. But she's like, I think she was a good cook. And there's also somebody around you that passed away very unexpectedly. It wasn't expected at the time. And I feel that this is a male energy. And it's someone very dear to your heart. And I don't know whether you get a sensation sometimes like someone's touching the top of your head. Very lightly.
Yes.
Very, very lightly. As if here in the UK we've got, there's a fly that's landed on my head, and you put your hand up and there's nothing there.
Yes.
I think it's more in the evening, when you're in bed, or it's like when you're not thinking about that, there will be a gentle touch, and it's like, I'm here. I feel that there's an aspect that even though you're gifted as a psychic, that this person didn't really believe in the psychics. He thought it was all, when you're gone, you're gone. And it's almost like he's saying, you were right, there is an afterlife. I feel that cars are important to him. I think he liked his cars, or something to do with cars, because he's like, look, I'm driving around in the cars. I think this person was quite deep. I don't think to me, the energy I'm getting with him is he would keep things bottled up. He was quite quiet, but he always took it all in. He absorbed things like a sponge. He was saying it. I seen it all.
True crime on A&E, with groundbreaking original shows like The First 48, Cold Case Files, Accused, Guilty or Innocent, and American Justice. No one brings you closer. Groundbreaking true crime every Thursday and Friday on A&E.
Veterans, you may have earned a variety of VA benefits. Did you know VA can help you further your education and pursue professional training? The Home Loan Guarantee Program can help you buy, repair, or adapt a home. VA provides housing support if you find yourself homeless or at risk of homelessness. And don't forget world-class health care. Learn more about these and other VA benefits Visit choose.va.gov.
He's thanking you for something, and it's almost like we would call it a ass. I know I was a pain in the ass at times, but you know, I do know that you love me, and I appreciate that. He was just saying something like it's his time, and he's happy and healthy, and he's across with someone with M, the initial M. So I don't know whether that's his mother, or because I'm getting M for mother and A for apple irrelevant. Did his mother work on a farm or live on a farm?
I don't know the answer to that. Oh, that's a good question.
Okay, because I'm just getting, again, but it could be rural because I'm getting like farm. And who would this be to you?
Do you hear it as a relative?
No, more like yeah, a family member, but more close, like either a partner or a boyfriend or a son, someone very, very close.
No, I'm not placing it.
It's not a cousin or an uncle or something.
Not that I can connect the car reference to. My brother-in-law lost his best friend, and he was a car guy.
Right, so I'm getting cars.
And he died suddenly and unexpectedly in an accident.
Yeah. Yeah, to me, it wasn't expected at that time.
Yeah, definitely was not at that time.
Yeah, but it's like, it was my time. As you know, as a psychic, a lot of things are out of our control.
Right.
And it was his time. But it was very, very unexpected. Yeah.
And what was the M connection?
I feel the M connection is relevant to him.
You got an M and an A, right?
Yeah.
Because his wife's name is Maddie.
Okay.
So it's Maddie, but
And how about the lady in spirit? The one that liked to cook?
Oh, well, that sounds a lot like my grandmother.
Now, she's saying something about a feather. Have you seen a feather recently?
Yes.
Because she's saying something about the feather. I dropped the feathers. Okay. And you know that if it's a black feather, it doesn't mean negativity. It means that you're protected. You would know that as a psychic anyway.
It was a very unusual feather.
I don't know. She's just saying, ask about the feather. I'm like, okay. So when I do readings, probably like yourself, just things come up that are hopefully relevant but random to make it more authentic, I guess, because if I was giving you a reading and I said, oh, do you like the sea? You'd say, yeah, I like the beach. That's not a psychic. That's
yeah. Huh, interesting.
And one of you thinking about moving or decorating?
No, not me.
I'm always decorating. Not an unusual thing.
Because I'm getting the number 2. Do one of you live in a house or a flat with the number 2 in the digit, or is that an old property?
Oh, I grew up in a house that had 2 number 2s in the address.
Right. So that number 2, is that where you saw spirit? Like you didn't like the hallway, the landing to go from the bedroom to the bathroom?
Yeah, it was definitely a creepy old house.
And I feel that that's when you first became aware of your psychic abilities. I feel, well, you didn't know that at the time because you're young, but that's what I'm picking up. A house with the number 2 is relevant. And I think there was some sad and bad times there as well.
Somewhat. I'm sorry, what was that? Somewhat?
Sorry, the accent again. I feel that there was some sad and bad times there.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
It wasn't a bunch of roses.
No.
But I think it shaped you for who you are today. I think you've done tremendously well. And we don't need to go into that, but you've overcome things.
For sure.
And good on you, proud of you. Because sometimes people see the glass as half empty and well, it's me. And then there's others like you that think, no, this isn't going to define me. because you've been through so many ups and downs emotionally and financially over the years.
Yes.
But you've got on with it.
Yes.
You're like, okay, I'm not going to dwell on it, because I feel there was, anxiety, depression, insomnia that you get, at times, and you get low, which we all do, but especially in this day and age.
Yeah.
Not a huge fan of your president, but anyway, I will not talk politics. But nor is most in the UK. Trust me, don't believe the fake news. But yeah, you've been through ups and downs, and there is like insomnia, anxiety, depression, things like that. I would say to you I feel that you again, like I was saying before about that lady, you kind of absorb things like a sponge, and I think you find it hard to switch off.
Oh yeah.
And also, I think, yes, you have empathy like I do, but you need to switch off sometimes, because I feel that it drains you, and you're doing everything kindly and nicely for everyone else. And while you're doing that, things stick invisibly, and it does weigh you down, and you feel tired and got no energy, and
Yeah, definitely.
So just try and take some time out for yourself and switch off if you can.
Yeah, easier said than done, right?
I don't think meditation helps you too much.
No.
A lot of these people say, "Oh, meditate," and kumbaya and all that. No. It wouldn't work for you, because your mind's too busy.
Yes.
And you're, if you're anything like me, when I tried it once, and I think we're the same, I was like, right, I'll listen to it in bed, and I was sort of led there thinking, oh, I got to pause it, I need a wee. You go and have a wee, use the bathroom, you lie back down, you think, okay, I'll press play, and they're talking, you're, oh, hang on, I got to move position. What was that person said, and rewind it. Yeah, you can't visualize it. And a lot of psychics can't, and I can't either. So yeah, you're fine, don't worry. You're tough.
Yeah.
But put yourself first sometimes.
I'll keep working on that one.
I feel you need to, definitely.
Yeah, I agree, totally.
And how about the romance? You dating anyone at the moment?
I'm married.
It can be hard work at times.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting, not been easy.
No.
Why am I getting 5? Is it the last 5 years? It's been a bit difficult. I don't want to embarrass you on here. So
definitely, but there are 5 people living in my household now.
Right. Okay. So it's a bit, chaotic. It's like sometimes I feel you just want to, just be alone. Just go into a room and just sit there without any interruptions. It's like chit. And you're like me, you like it calm and quiet sometimes.
Yes.
And that's why I do my readings in another room with no computer or anything like that. Just me and the phone. Hi, let's go. Let's do the reading. But I think because you're a gifted psychic, I think, like me, it does wear us down. Because we're taking on a lot of different things. So that's why when you do readings, just make sure you try and, even if you just think in your head, swipe, done, next, and don't sort of overanalyze and that you don't catch hold of that, because otherwise, you'd be up all night thinking about, that poor lady that rung me in.
Yes, that's for sure.
So as I said, I've always been very intuitive from a young age, and it's like you just think it's the bogeyman or something like that. We call that in the UK. And then kind of lost it when I was young. I was out clubbing, meeting boys, as you do, makeup, parties, clothes. And then it happened when I was about 23, 24. I moved into a rented house. I hadn't met my husband at the time. It was a standard semi-detached house. Opposite us, there was houses off a road. There was fields near, but also houses, just a standard place. And first of all, it was okay. And then one night, and you know, what I'm telling you is the total honest truth. I've got no reason to lie or make things up. And you can ask me this in a year's time and my story will still be the same, whatever. I was sat up in bed and I was looking at Facebook. And this is way before I started doing readings. You know, I had angel cards that I would do for a couple of friends, not myself, but didn't even think about that. I was in the care industry. And I was sat up in bed with the pillows propped. And I don't know whether you're like me, I have to sleep on my side. I can never sleep sat up. I just it's uncomfortable. And I put my phone down by the side of the bed and I was just led there. I'm fully awake, thinking, right, okay, I'll turn that off. And a hand grabbed the back of my head with their fingers spread apart, like if you put your hands out. And a male voice said, "What time do you call this?" I froze, obviously. And in the bedroom, there's like a pull cord by the side of my bed. And I thought, I'm going to die. So there's somebody in there. There's somebody in the house. And I live in by myself. My dogs were downstairs. They had the run of the downstairs. And my bedroom door was shut. And they would have barked. And they were rescue dogs. And I thought, hang on a minute. There's somebody in here. And it's a petrifying feeling. You feel like your life stopped with the fear that you're frozen. And I remember slipping down the bed, reaching for the pull cord. The light came on. I thought, my God, he's behind me. What do I do? And I turned my head round very gingerly, and there was nothing there. And I was like, oh, who do I ring? It was about 12 o'clock at night. And I thought, my God, what am I going to do? I haven't got any knives or anything. No, all I got is a cupboard with clothes and knickers and stuff. That's not going to do them any good. So I thought I got deodorant. So I got up and I thought that's the only thing I got upstairs. And I looked under my bed, even though the bed was very small. I knew nobody could get underneath there unless you were a cat. And once somebody grabbed my head and there was nothing there. And I looked in the boiling cupboard and I looked in the 2 bedrooms, cupboards, everything, nothing. So I went downstairs. And as you go downstairs, I've got like a hallway with the front door. Check that was locked. So I'm like, right, it must be someone downstairs. I checked every room, there was nothing, absolutely nothing. And then another time, my friend came over, a male friend, not a boyfriend, just a mate. He was going through a bit of emotional turmoil with a girlfriend at the time. And we were chatting and had some food and that. And he said, right, I'm going to go now. I'm just going to use your bathroom. The bathroom was downstairs. And I said, that's all right, no problem. I'm just going to go in the garden and have a quick cigarette, not weed or anything, just normal cigarette. Let me know when you're finished. And he came out and I was still having a cigarette. I said, you're right. He was white as a sheet. And I said, whatever's wrong? He said, I thought you were playing tricks on me, but then the door was locked. I said, what are you talking about? He said, well, I went in the bathroom to have a wee. We call it a wee. I locked the door and I was having a wee, and mid-flow, someone pushed me in the middle of the back really hard. Made me jolt. I've had to sort of, wipe up the urine on the top. And he said, for what split second I thought it was you, but then I knew the door was locked and I had to unlock the door to come out. Other friends of mine have felt very drained. They felt fine before they came in my house. And then they felt really, really drained. For me, as weird as it sounds, and this is going to sound, because some of my friends said, why haven't you left? Get out of there. I felt safe. I felt that there was quite a few ghosts there. I felt that there was a family that lived there before, even though the house was probably 60 years old, something like that. So it wasn't like old. But also I felt that there was a dark entity as well. And the dark entity would come sporadically, maybe every couple of months. And it was mainly in the master bedroom that had an old-fashioned fire that wasn't used. And a couple of times I saw like a black mass in the bedroom. And I used to say, Archangel Michael, you know, protect me. And I would imagine I had an angel at my head, my feet, and either side, opening their wings. So they surrounded me like a circle. And I started talking to it. I know that sounds strange. I was sort of saying, because I thought at the time that they were angry that I lived there, you know, sort of get off my land sort of thing. And I said, look, I know this is your house. I'm only renting. You know, try to sort of be like that. And a friend was over and I said, I'm gonna do a test. And I had a radiator in the bedroom. And I said, if there's any spirits here, can you make a tap or a noise on the radiator? Like you're throwing a small stone. And it would ding, it would answer. Do you used to live here? Ding. So that happened. I would ask lots of different questions. And then I took a video. So I'd wash my bed in and everything as we do, obviously every week. And I started fluffing up the duvet. So I was capturing, I wanted to debunk basically, you know, little bits of dust or something like that. And it was the winter time and I was just randomly recording in my bed sat up. And orbs were shooting up from the bottom of the floor to the top, left to right. I mean, it was wild. And I've got videos of that on my other phone. And then one day when I was downstairs, I'd done just a voice recorder on my phone. And I said, is there anyone here? The first bit was clear, but the rest was muffled. And I've got that on another phone somewhere. This female voice said, we've come here to change the times of things. And then it went, blah, blah, blah. I couldn't make out what was said. I kept playing it and playing it, thinking, well, that's old, because obviously TV's off. It was just me and the dogs. One afternoon, actually. And then another time, God, there's so many things. Another time I was laid in bed and I lie on my side. And I looked up and I was fully awake. And there's a monk, you know, like Friar Tuck, but in my bedroom. And I'm led on my side and I'm looking at this monk. And he's looking out the window. He's not looking at me. I would describe him in like a brown, is it habit they called it? But the hood was down. The hood was down. It was like a golden ropey kind of thing around the waist.
Yeah.
He had white hair and a white beard and mustache, but quite not a long beard and mustache, not like a wizard. It was more short, like stubble, but growing a bit. And blue eyes, and I could see him as clear as day. He was slightly translucent, but I could see the colors, like the brown robe. And I'm thinking, hang on a minute, and I'm looking at it. And for the record, I take no drugs. I don't smoke weed or anything like that. No mental health issues. No, nothing like that. And I'm looking at him, and he's looking out the window. He's by the fireplace. And I'm there and I'm looking, and I must have been looking for about 2 minutes. And then I thought, hang on a minute, my phone's by the side of my bed on the floor. I'll reach down, grab my phone, take a picture. So I turned away, went to grab my phone, went back, it's gone. So that was odd. Another friend of mine stayed and saw a black cat. I've got no cats, and a man in a trench coat upstairs in the other room. I think one of the most frightening things, apart from the man grabbing the top of my head, was you will probably know this being psychic. You know when you're half awake, half asleep, and you have a nightmare and you're attacked in that dream?
Yes.
So I was half awake and half asleep. And it was almost like a bit of an out-of-body experience, which I never had before, because I knew it was me, and I could feel something trying to get in, evil, and I'm saying, angels, protect me, protect me. And in this kind of half lucid, half asleep, half awake, somebody grabbed my neck and put a pull put a rope around my neck. And I had my boyfriend at the time, who's now my husband, and I'm like, I was like that. And he sort of turned the light on, whatever's the matter. I said, oh God, I had a terrible dream. No, I was explaining about it and everything. And the next morning, my husband said, my God, what's that around your neck? I said, what are you talking about? And there was a mark around my neck where a rope would have been if I had done that, obviously.
Oh, wow.
So that was a bit unnerving. Another time, you know, you probably have this in America, you know, really thin lights that are very ting, 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 like Christmas lights, very brittle, easy to break. So one evening I saw a flash downstairs of purple. And I thought, what the hell is that? Lightning? Lightning's not purple. And I went from the living room to the dining room. And a ball, a light untwisted itself, fell on the floor about 7 foot onto laminate flooring, which was concrete underneath, and didn't smash. And I was like, okay. So I got my now husband. I'm like, love, you better check the switch. He said, no, nothing's tripped. And he said, how did that light bulb come out? It physically can't. You have to unscrew it. It's been there for about a year. So we got our friend, the electrician, to check everything. And then we explained to him about this light. He said, that's impossible. He said, A, that would smash to thousands of pieces. And B, lights don't physically unscrew themselves. You have to unscrew it. It's a certain light that you probably have them in America, that you screw tight. Right, that's done. No, it's not one of, and he checked it, it wasn't eroded or anything. And he said, even if it's eroded, it wouldn't unscrew itself, it would drop out. And then I proved how brittle it was. I just lifted up very gently about 2 inches from the work surface, and it smashed into hundreds of pieces. So that was a bit strange. I've also captured a really bright light, just really bright light. Another friend of mine was pushed. My cousin saw a spirit of somebody in the spare room as she was coming to my house in the car to park on the driveway. And it was just me there at the time, and I answered the door. And I think the most bizarre thing, I woke up one morning, it's a bit like the monk, and there was a man and woman in my bed. You couldn't make this up. I'm not joking. And they looked white, but I could see them clearly. In England, we call it a blue rinse brigade. It's when old people have like the curls, the hair. And the man had framed glasses and like blue eyes, both had blue eyes. And I'm like screaming, get out, get out, get out. And nothing. And a neighbor up the road, she used to do my hair. And I said, look, Kim, I said, the people that had this house before, I said, don't tell me, but I'm going to describe 2 people and tell me if it's anything like them. And I described it. And she said, oh, yeah, that's Mr. and Mrs. blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to say it. Yeah, they've died. Yeah. And I was like, okay, that's who I've seen then. Yeah, random weird things. Also, the boiler would always go wrong. And my landlord would come with the gas boiler guy and say, look, I installed this, there's nothing wrong, and I have to keep getting them out. Fridge freezers would go. So I'd buy a new one from the shop with a 2-year warranty, and after a few months, I have to take it back. Get another one, same thing happened. Quite a few times. So electrics weren't great. And in the downstairs bedroom, underneath the wash basin, you had like a metal thing that attaches both pipes, like a pipe. And one of them burst, fine. You think, okay, that's just one of those things. But then the other one burst, and the man at the shop said, that's impossible. Both can't go. Yeah, a lot of things with the boiler. So yeah, a bit odd. And then I decided, me and my husband, obviously met my husband then, and we got our own house. And so I said, look, I'm not going to live there anymore, blah, blah, blah. And a guy that I kind of know-ish decided to buy that property. And I'll call him Jack for confidentiality. I said, Jack, I said, look, you're going to buy this house from the landlord. I've got to tell you, mate, really haunted. And he said, oh, that doesn't bother me. You know, he sort of thinks he's cool. And I said, look, Jack, you know, I'm moving out. I mean, my husband and my husband are getting a property. I said, I've ordered something from eBay and I thought it would get here in time. Is there any way that you can, if I leave you my phone number, so I didn't know that well, you could just text me and be so kind as to let me know when it comes, and I'll come and collect it, you know, at your convenience. And he said, yeah, that's no problem. So about 3 days later, I had a text message and it said, it's Jack, you know, your things arrived, your parcel. And I obviously said, what time can I collect it? And he said, and I got there and I said, have you had any experiences? He said, yeah, there was a huge black mass in the bedroom. And I was out in the kitchen and an older lady walked through the wall. So that was just the first week of me moving out. And this guy is, you know, he's Jack the lad, he's down the pub, you know, he's intelligent, he's got a good job. And I said, I told you, Jack. And he said, yeah, don't bother me. But yeah, there's some, is where strange shit going on here. And I said, you've had that all in a week, like since I moved out. He said, yeah. Yeah, he said, I was in the kitchen and this person just walked through the wall. I was like, oh, hello. Walked through one wall to the other, an older lady. And I said, did she have like the same haircut as the woman that I'd seen in the bedroom that you didn't know about? Obviously, because I didn't go into detail. And he said, oh yeah, that's her, the blue rinse brigade, we call them. Woman, yeah. And then upstairs there was a mass on the. I was like, yeah, okay, good luck. Good luck with that. So yeah, that's my spooky experience. Another time I was walking my dogs and we had to go between two walls. One was a wall of a school, a primary school, and the other was a wall of a house. And so we walked the dogs over the fields. Unfortunately, they passed now of old age. But I thought, right, I got to put the dogs on the lead because I'm coming near sort of a road. So we walked down this path to get to the road. And I heard like, God, that's a dog, obviously coming around the corner. So I thought, this is going to be a bit narrow. I don't want them to get into an argument. So I sort of gently grabbed my dog's collar, sort of, you know, waiting for the person with the dog to come around the corner. And I felt a gust of wind because it was summer on my legs. And the of the dog got louder and louder and went past us. And there was nothing there. I mean, even my dog sort of looked up at me a bit sort of amazed. So yeah, that was a bit odd. So many different things. I've seen the spirit of a dog in the road. Seen spirits here and there. I remember going to, we would call them, do you have pubs in America? Like you eat, restaurant, pubs?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I was in a pub and I said, it was quite quiet. And I said to the landlord, I said, I'm not being funny. I said, is this place haunted? Because I feel a bit edgy, a bit on edge. You probably get that too when you feel that there's something spooky. And he said, oh yeah, you're sat above where the poltergeist is. And my husband's like, okay. I said, oh, okay. I'll move then. I think we'll go down here. And yeah, another time I've caught on camera, we went to look around an old post office that was one of the most oldest post office in Cornwall, near Tintagel, in Tintagel. And me and my husband had a bit of lunch and we thought, oh, we'll go and look around the old post office because I like things like that in our country, looking at old things. And it was very old, very, very old. And looking around, it was pretty, it was basic, it was lovely, like it was years ago. We went up these windy stairs and I was videoing because I've got quite a few friends from America on Facebook, not on the Magenta one, on my other one. And they like anything like that, you know, they're like, oh, send me some cool stuff, you know, some English history. So I thought, oh, they'd love this, you know. So I'm videoing it and I stopped and I said to my husband, I don't like that side of the bed. You have to go in the bed and there's like a window. I said, I don't like this area. I don't like it. I need to step away. Carried on recording. Anyway, got home, went through the recordings and a female voice said, leave. I rewound it again, leave. It was just me and my husband in that room. Like it was a really quiet day. It was like a rainy April at 2 o'clock in the afternoon or something. So yeah, I've encountered quite a few things. My parents used to have a pub and there was a lady that used to wander around at the bottom of one of the lounges by the pool table. So yeah, all in all, quite, especially the old house. I mean, in this house, there's nothing. But in the old house, oh yeah, I could write a book, you know.
Why do you think, Magenta, why do you think some spirits hang out? Like, I mean, good and bad, like, why do you think they hang around and not go? Or do they go and they're just coming back? How does that work?
Yeah, there's a whole kind of worms here. I do believe in reincarnation. I think we've all had many lives. I've always had a fond love of America, even though I've never been. And I didn't really understand the concept. Not saying that your country is not beautiful, but it was like, I kind of like American TV. I like American music. I like Green Day, da, 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 da. And I regressed and I was a Mel. And I could only describe it a bit like, you know, Little House on the Prairie, the Waltons, that kind of dusty roads, little wooden houses. And I was a Mel, and I looked sort of Spanish looking, dark hair. I was quite overweight and I was sat on a horse. And in this life, I'm allergic to horses, which is odd. And I remember going in the house and there was a woman, and it's going to sound pedantic, in the rocking chair. And I knew that that woman was my wife's mother, but in this life, it was my dad's sister, my auntie. I didn't see my wife, she was cooking, but the two children, there was two children, sat around a wooden table, we were waiting to eat. And the two children, the girl and the boy, I distinctively knew were my parents in this life. But going on to ghosts, I think they visit sometimes places that they loved and they like. They kind of pop in and have a look. I do feel sometimes there's imprints of things that have happened. I do feel that, you know, we do all have many, many lives. And this is just my theory. I don't know whether you agree. You know, sometimes when you're having a dream, but the dream's so realistic, it's almost like you're there. So you might dream that you're in the dentist, but the dentist is a dentist that you went to when you were a child. The dentist don't look familiar, but yeah, you know, when you're in dreams or you're hanging out on holiday with a school friend years ago and you dream about that, or you're in a plane. I feel that there's many of us in many dimensions. So there's like 11 of me or an 11 of you. And sometimes we're male in that life. And sometimes we're female. And sometimes when we sleep, we go into other dimensions. So it's the real us. So we go into other dimensions. So I think that that plays a part in ghosts and spirits and things like that. But also there is, in my humble opinion, sometimes when you pass over, you don't want to. It might be fear, or it might be that you're so connected to a place you don't want to leave. So you're a little bit like in limbo.
Okay.
Have you ever had that when you've, you know, gone to sleep and you kind of know it's you and you're half awake, half asleep, or you dream that you're younger or older, or?
Yeah, I often wondered if we were just overlapping sometimes in different
Yeah.
dimensions. And
Yeah.
like, so somebody described it this way to me, like when you see a spirit. So imagine like you have like 5 pieces of paper on top of each other, but the third paper down, it actually has like Sharpie written on it. But so that would mean the paper underneath it actually has some leftover because it bled through. So those could be the spirits and from one dimension bleeding through onto the next,
Yeah.
if that makes
Yeah.
sense. And so maybe that's why we're able to see them, even though it may just be like us in a different dimension, but it's kind of bleeding through. So we would call that a spirit, but maybe they're not actually past. Would that make any sense?
And also I think when we pass over, some, like, to me, I get a vibe that you haven't got the animal abusers and all the horrible pedophiles and stuff, scum. And for any animal abusers out there, please don't think that you know you might get told off in the next life. I've been told psychically many times that if you are an animal abuser, then you'll get bad karma in this life, and it's not the animal doing it. Animals are so beautiful and tender and love unconditionally. And people might think mumbo jumbo, but it's not. So what will happen is, if you're an animal abuser, then you will get illnesses, or someone around you, you'll get bad luck. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe you think you're riding high. I'm healthy, I'm fit, but you wait and see. Karma will bite you in the ass in this life. Know that much for sure. So to any animal abusers, which I hope none of your listeners are, and I eat meat. I'm not some sort of vegan, tree hugging, left-wing person. I'm just saying, just be kind to animals. There's no need to be cruel to them unnecessarily. But going back to the topic, I feel that in our past lives, so in your next life, when you pass over, you can pick where you want to live. So you might want a house like you had before, or, oh, when I was young, I used to love living there, and you can manifest that.
Yeah.
And so you do cross over. Yeah, but it's only my opinion. And please tell me to be quiet because I've been talking way too much. Yeah, I just feel that we all have many lives, and we go to different dimensions. I had it many times when I had a dream, and I was at a dentist, and a week later my filling came out, and I'm like, oh my God, I had a dream about me going to the dentist, and now in this life, my fillings come out. I need to book into the dentist and get that fixed. So yeah, it is. It's a whole minefield. And I could spend hours talking about different things, but that's my belief that A, we have many lives, and B, sometimes we visit people, ghosts, or places that we like to live, or if we're not rested, we can't move over. I think every spirit, when you pass, they're like, come on, come with us, you're going to be fine. And sometimes people don't want to. They're like, no, I want to stay here. But mainly, I think, is an imprint, like a videotape of the past that's imprinted. Yeah, so that's what I think. There's so many different elements to things, if that makes sense. It's not just this, and this. But I think mainly it's parallel universes, like you were saying, colliding.
Yes.
I would say for spirits, yeah.
Okay. I love it. Well, I can't wait to share this with my co-host and see what she has to say. I know that first story that you were talking about, I think she would like to revisit this with you. If you don't mind, if I can contact you by email later, if that's all right, Magenta?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll see what I can do. But again, I must go careful about things, because I could be wrong. I could be picking up something different. And so I don't want to really do that too much, because there's children, again, like I was saying. That's what I'm just a little bit scared of. But
so the month of October is all going to be about spirits and ghosts, and actually for me it's all year round, but for the podcast we will be focusing more on that in October.
True crime on A&E, with groundbreaking original shows like The First 48, Cold Case Files, Accused, Guilty or Innocent, and American Justice. No one brings you closer. Groundbreaking true crime every Thursday and Friday on A&E.
From earaches to strep tests, there's Minute Clinic at CVS. See a provider, fill a prescription, and grab essentials. Or see us online with telehealth options. That's healthier made easier. Visit Minute Clinic at CVS today. Services vary by location. See MinuteClinic.com for details.